Hello friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. This is Ashu and today we will discuss very important current affairs of 26th of September 2020. You can see here two images of the today's current affair. We will discuss 5 to 6 very important current affairs. So watch the video till the end, but overall we will discuss 25 to 26 current affairs. But before that, I want to discuss about Affairs Cloud Current Affair PDF subscription. You can subscribe our current affairs by two methods. You can visit our website, that is Affairs Cloud / current affair, or you can directly go to the description box. There is a link of the subscription and you can directly go to the subscription page. What you will get in the description, you will get daily current affairs, you will get weekly current affairs, even you can give the weekly test also. There is a monthly PDF also. I already told you that there is a banking, finance and economy PDF which will benefit to the banking exam preparation students who are preparing for the banking exam. And there is a current affairs pocket PDF. You can revise all the current affairs from the pocket PDFs. So these current affairs are provided at very minimal cost. Even when you visit, you will surprise by seeing the cost. And on that minimal cost, I am giving you 10% discount by using the code ASH10. You can use this code ASH10. That means ASH10 and you will get the 10% extra discount on that minimal cost. And these current affairs are provided in English as well as in Hindi, friends. Let's start today's current affair, that is the 26th September, and here is our first question. And today I marked with the question that is a very important, most important or nothing. In which state foundation stone for one of the first medical devices park in the country laid? So there are two very important things. This question mark under very important section. There are two very important things. First is this medical device parks. What are these medical device parks? And second, which state started or which state inaugurated or which state laid the foundation stone of this medical device park? First of all, let's discuss about the medical device park. Medical device parks basically promote the Make in India concept. It means many micro or small scale industries can promote research and development, testing, evaluation, manufacturing support, technological innovation, knowledge dissemination. Even they can also manufacture the small or the medium-sized medical device used in the medical industry. So you can also say which dominate the sector. So this is just to promote the Make in India concept, and these services can be utilized by the medical device industry located within the this medical device park and as well as from the other parts of India. These parks will not only cut import bills but will also help in easy access to standards testing facility and reduced cost of production. So it is just to boost the production of that is Make in India concept, and so that we can cut the bills of imports as well as we can also reduce cost of production and we can set up a standard of testing facilities. So this is started, or you can say this is started by the center government, but this center government also focused these medical device parks in the four states. One is the Andhra Pradesh, second is the Telangana, and next is the Tamil Nadu, and next is the Kerala. And out of these four, Kerala started first. So answer is Kerala. So remember, these are the four southern states, that is the Andhra Pradesh, Telangana. They are neighboring states, and Tamil Nadu and Kerala again neighboring states. So remember this: Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Tamil Nadu and Kerala. So all four are neighboring areas. So remember this: Kerala, out of these four, Kerala is the first. So this is the very important mark under very important question. And guys, please provide 300 likes because it will provide us motivation. It will provide us motivation and we can make more videos on more content. So please guys, press the like button. So this is the first medical device park that is in Kerala. Otherwise, there are four states who will set up these medical device parks. Next question: which state launched URISE portal for students? Now this is very important question, but don't mark under very important question. Just remember this word. This is important. That is the U important. Why I am saying U important? Because it is for the students. That's why it is for you students. That is the URISE. So what is the purpose of URISE? This is like an online portal, and it was inaugurated by Yogi Adityanath ji in Lucknow, UP. And this portal guides the students in learning, career counseling and getting employment in the state. Just remember these two or three things, that it will guide the students in learning, career counseling and getting employment in the state. So this state, I already told you that Yogi Adityanath ji inaugurated. That's why the state is the Uttar Pradesh. Very important state. because it is important in the Lok Sabha also, because 80 seats out of 543 belongs to only UP. And there is very important national park, that is the Dudhwa National Park. There is a very important wildlife sanctuary, that is Hastinapur Wildlife Sanctuary. There is a Kishanpur Wildlife Sanctuary, Hastinapur, Kishanpur Wildlife Sanctuary. There is Ranipur Wildlife Sanctuary also in the Uttar Pradesh, but Dudhwa National Park is very, very important. Remember this, Dudhwa National Park. So by this portal, even students of the UP can improve their learning curve while using this portal. It means they can use this portal to increase their ability of learning and to enhance their education qualification. So UP is the first state to launch a unified portal along with the implementation of National Education Policy 2020. Because remember this, which I am speaking, that UP is the first state to launch unified portal, that is a unified portal URISE, a unified portal for implementation of National Education Policy 2020. Remember this, UP is the first state who is applying National Education Policy 2020. This is very important, guys. Remember this also. And you know about Uttar Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister is Yogi Adityanath ji and Governor is Anandiben Patel. So you can see here URISE portal, that is for the student empowerment, inaugurated by Yogi Adityanath ji. Moving to next question. India provided financial assistance to which country as post-earthquake reconstruction? Mark under very important section, guys. And in the yesterday news, I also covered this type of question, that to prepare the infrastructure of the post-earthquake reconstruction projects related to the education sector, India is setting up in the Nepal. So answer is Nepal. Remember this, India provided financial assistance to which country as post-earthquake reconstruction is, that is Nepal. Because there was an earthquake in 2015 in Nepal known as the Gorkha earthquake, which had severely affected thousands of lives as well as the economy of the Nepal. So at that time, India being the Nepal immediate neighbor, the first to respond with Operation Maitri. So you remember this, Operation Maitri, for the Nepal reconstruction of this Gorkha earthquake in 2015, which also provided the rescue and the relief by its armed forces, and also announced a post-earthquake reconstruction package. So that's why India is just providing almost 96 crore Indian rupees, or you can say 1.54 billion Nepalese rupees to the Nepal, so that they can reconstruct their economy or they can reconstruct their infrastructure. So it is Nepal. So remember this, there was in 2015 earthquake known as the Gorkha earthquake. So that's why we are providing this financial assistance. So you can see here, India releases 1.54 billion Nepali rupees, or you can just remember 96 crore rupees to post-earthquake reconstruction assistance. And you all know about Nepal. Nepal's capital is Kathmandu. Nepal's Prime Minister is KP Sharma Oli, and President is Vidya Bhandari, that is Vidya Devi Bhandari. So remember this also. Moving to our next question, and next question is, Indian Navy conducted a 2-day long passage exercise with which country? Mark under most important question. So there are two category of question, very important and the most important. Just remember, this is the most important question. Now all you know why this is the most important, because any type of exercises between the two countries, any type of exercise means it can be of Navy, it can be of Army, it can be of air, any type of exercise can be asked in the banking exam. This is very important for banking exam, even other exam also. Many type of exercises asked in the various type of exam. So PASS-X, that is the passage exercise, it is conducted in the Indian Ocean region, and it is conducted between India and Australia. So remember, India and Australia. There is also a maritime exercise between India and Australia, that is the AUSINDEX, AUSINDEX, that is Australia India exercise. So remember, this is a maritime exercise, So it will also, you can say, strengthen the relation between India and Australia, or you can say it will strengthen the Indo-Australian bilateral relation as a comprehensive strategic partner. So Indian Ocean region, and that is the PASS-X, or you can say PASS-X, that is the passenger or the passage X or the exercise, that is with India and the Australia. So how you can remember, that is the passenger between India and Australia. So you can remember this PASS-X. Now you can see here, India and Australia conduct 2-day passage exercise in the Eastern Indian Ocean region. Now, this is the next question. Indian Railway signed a memorandum of understanding with which institute for modernization of railway infrastructure? It means the institute will help to modernize the railway infrastructure, like they can study on the various perspective, like electrical locomotive, control and communication system. You can say train and track safety using signal processing, power and vehicle control electronics, driver interface system, any type of technology which are used by the railways. They can improve this type of technology, and the institute is very important, and the institute is IIT Kanpur. Again, this is UP. IIT Kanpur signed this MOU with the Indian Railways to modernize the railway infrastructure. So this is important question, but you have to just remember one very important question under this question is, who is appointed as the CEO, first CEO of the Indian Railways? So remember this. This is VK Yadav. VK Yadav. That is the Vinod Kumar Yadav. That is the first CEO of Indian Railway. This is very important question. Mark under very important that who is the CEO of the Indian Railway. That is the VK Yadav. It is the first CEO because RBI rationalize his departments. That's why there is a CEO of the Indian Railways. So to modernize the infrastructure, there is a IIT Kanpur so that they can modernize the Indian railway system like electrical safety, network control, staff training, any type of electrical or the manual training. It will be provided by the IIT Kanpur faculty. So remember this also. Very important. This is the IIT Kanpur and you can say Indian Railways. Moving to next question, and it is from picture. Remember this question from the picture, that 15th CII and Exim Bank Digital Conclave on India and Africa Project Partnership. So it is held in from 22nd to 24 September 2020, and CII stands for Confederation of Indian Industries and Exim Bank stands for the Export Import Bank. So they organize this conclave between India and Africa Project Partnership. So India is very much involved in Africa. Even you can say India is Africa's third largest export destination because India is executing so many developmental projects in Africa, and almost 200 developmental projects India is developing in Africa. So this is very important, and India is establishing in these developmental projects in 37 different countries of Africa, and it is very much a large part of Africa which is covered by the India. And India is also currently working to complete 77 more projects in the 29 countries of the African continent. And India is also investing almost 11.6 billion USD in the African countries. So this is so much trade between the African countries and the India. So that's why I am saying India is the Africa's third largest export destination. So why this conclave is organized? This conclave is just to strengthen the relationship between the India and Africa, and you can also say this is just to improve the infrastructure facility of the Africa by the India. So remember this, India Africa Project Partnership is organized by CII and the Exim Bank. What about the Africa? You can say what about the South Africa? Basically, South Africa capital is the Cape Town. There are three basically you can say the capitals. One is executive capital, one is the judiciary capital, one is the legislative capital. These are the three capitals of the South Africa. Executive capital is the Pretoria. Executive capital is Pretoria, and legislative capital is Cape Town. That is the main capital. That is the Cape Town, and the judicial capital is the Bloemfontein. Bloemfontein. This is the three. These are the three capitals of the South Africa. Remember this: executive, legislature, and the judiciary capital. Most important is the legislative capital, that is the Cape Town, and executive capital, that is the Pretoria, and judiciary capital is the Bloemfontein. I am repeating the spelling, that is Bloemfontein. Bloemfontein. So this is the judiciary capital. So moving to next question, which ministry signed MOU with herbal industry bodies to promote medicinal plants cultivation? So first of all, why this MOU signed with this medicinal plants and the cultivation? Because to raise the immunity to fight coronavirus infection, there is a very much increased demand in India, like tulsi, gloe, ashwagandha, etc. So that to keep sustainable supply of quality medicine raw material to you can say the citizens of India, there is a need to increase the medicinal plant cultivation. So that's why this MOU was signed by Ayush Ministry with the herbal industry bodies, so that maximum to maximum medicinal plant cultivation can be increased. So very simple question. That's why I didn't mark under the very important section, because No other ministry can sign this type of project like the medicinal plant cultivation. It is just by the Ministry of Ayush. You all know about that is the Ayush, Ayurveda, Yoga and Neuropathy, Unani, Siddha and the Homeopathy. Who is the currently Minister of State? That is Minister of State is Shripad Yesso Naik. And Ministry of Ayush basically was not a part of the Indian independence. It was started in 2014 by the Modi government. So remember this also. Minister of Ayush was not there before 2014. It was started in 2014 by Modi government when he became the first time Prime Minister of India. You can see in the picture that Ayush Ministry inks MOU with the industrial bodies to promote medicinal cultivation. So just to increase the medicinal cultivation, or you can directly say that it can fulfill the demand of the medicinal industry, which are increasing due to the COVID-19, so that they can increase the immunity of the citizens. Move to next question and mark under very important section. What is the rank of India in the World Risk Report 2020? So just remember the World Risk Report name. Why this report is prepared? Because it is just an index which provides us the assessment of global risk of disaster such as earthquakes, storms, flood, droughts, or any sea level rise. So it means this provide us the data so that how much country is prepared to conquer these type of the disaster like earthquake, storms, floods, droughts, or the sea level rise. So Qatar is the country which comes under the lower risk country. It means the 181th rank is given to the Qatar, and the lowest rank means the low risk. So remember this, the lower the rank, the very low risk. 181, matlab that is the last rank, that is the last rank that is the provided to Qatar. And first rank, it means the very high risk, that is the Vanuatu, Vanuatu, Vanuatu. That is the first rank. It means the very high risk. So remember that this is near Australia. So let's see there. This is Australia, and there is a island country that is the Vanuatu. So remember this, Vanuatu. Yesterday I told you one island there, that is the Bougainville Island. So now there is a Vanuatu. So remember this, because Oceania countries or the islands are very prone to the risk, because by the rising of the sea level, they can fully immersed under the sea. So that's why the Vanuatu island comes under the very high risk and got the first rank. So these report are prepared by the United Nations University Institute for Environment and Human Security. So it is prepared by, but don't remember who prepared this report, just remember World Risk Report 2020. And rank of India is very poor, friends. Rank of India is 89th out of 181 countries. It means we are in the medium risk. It means we can displace some part and we can save some part. So this is the meaning of the 89th rank, that we are in the middle risk. So remember India's rank is 89th. So you can see here that 89th rank of India, that is the out of 181 countries. And you can see here our neighboring countries like Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan, Sri Lanka. So India's rank is better than some countries. It means better than some neighboring countries. Even you can see Bangladesh 13th rank. It means the very prone to risk. And Afghanistan 57, that is again 57 due to earthquake. Bangladesh is also due to floods and the earthquake. And Sri Lanka, you can say it is the island country. That's why you can say it is due to the floods. And Pakistan also, there is 87, and it is also due to the earthquakes. So India's rank is 89th. Bhutan is very safe, that is 152 rank. And Maldives is 171. Nepal is 121. Even Nepal is a epicenter of the earthquake, but Nepal is safe. 121 country, 121 rank of Nepal in 2020. So remember India's rank is 89th. Move to next question. Which country chaired the annual informal meeting of South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation Council of Ministers? It means who is the chairman of this SAARC Association of 2020? Remember this. BRICS chairman is Russia. G20 chairmanship lies with the Saudi Arabia, and ASEAN chairmanship lies with the Vietnam, and now it is a SAARC, that is the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, and it lies with the Nepal, friends. It lies with the Nepal. Remember this. And SAARC have how many countries? SAARC has 7 founding member plus 1 country enter laterly. So you can see here that is Nepal organized, or you can say Nepal is the chairman of the SAARC Council of Ministers. And from Indian side, S. Jaishankar, that is our foreign minister, attended this meeting. You can see here S. Jaishankar attended this meeting, and here is sitting. You can see here about the SAARC. There are 8 countries member. I already told you that 7 are the founding members. That is India, Bhutan, Nepal, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Maldives, Sri Lanka. But Afghanistan was not a founding member because it was established in, like SAARC was established in 1985, but Afghanistan was added laterly, like in 2007. So remember about SAARC 1985, and founding countries are 7, but now members are 8 because Afghanistan added lately in 2007. And where is the headquarter of this SAARC? Headquarter is in Kathmandu, Nepal, and chairmanship also lies with the Nepal. So remember these all information related to the SAARC. So moving to next question. This is from picture that Shri Narendra Singh Tomar ji centralized farm machinery performance, and he launched a portal which is known as centralized farm machinery portal. So why the agriculture ministry like Narendra Singh Tomar ji introduced this type of the testing portal known as the centralized farm machinery testing portal in India? So it has been launched to improve services of farm machinery testing institution and to bring transparency in the process of testing and evaluation of machines related to farming. The testing and the evaluation of agriculture machinery will encourage improvement in quality of agricultural machines. So this is very important related to the agricultural sector, because by this facility they can just basically test the agriculture machinery so that they can increase the transparency, or they can increase the valuability of the testing institutions. And this portal will facilitate manufacturers in applying, communicating, and monitoring the progress of testing of machines. So it is very easy for the officers who are working at the ministry can monitor the activities from everywhere. Even the designs of the machines also uploaded on the this portal, so that manufacturers can improve the design of the product and open up avenues in the commercialization of agriculture machinery on national and the global level. So these are the very important information, and you just remember Narendra Singh Tomar ji introduced this type of the portal for the machine testing in the agriculture sector. So Narendra Singh Tomar ji recently Harsimrat Kaur Badal resigned as a food and processing ministry, and he overtake this ministry. Move to next question. Which country chaired ministerial meeting of foreign ministers of conference on interaction and confidence building measures in Asia? So there is an organization that is known as CICA, that is the Conference on Interaction and Confidence Building Measures in Asia. So first of all, let's see about CICA. What is this CICA? Basically, it is a multinational forum for enhancing cooperation towards promoting peace, promoting security, promoting stability in Asia. It is only for the Asia Pacific countries. The idea to form this type of organization only for the Asian countries is proposed by the Kazakhstan. So this is proposed by the Kazakhstan in 1992, and it was proposed in the United Nations General Assembly. So its first meeting took place in 1999 after its proposal in 1992. So there are 27 member nations, including India, including Bangladesh, Afghanistan. So many countries are there. Total 27 member countries are there, and there are also some observer countries like USA is also there, Indonesia, Japan. These are the observer nations. So no need to remember how many countries are member, how many countries are observer. Nobody is asking about CICA observers. So just remember who is the chairman of this 2020 meeting of this CICA. So friends, it is Tajikistan. Remember this Tajikistan, because he was chairman from 2018 to 20 of this CICA. Now this chairmanship goes to Kazakhstan. So remember, in 2021, Kazakhstan will lead this CICA. So this is one of the important news if you are aware about the international relation. So this is very important. So moving to our next question. So remember, Tajikistan is the chairman of 2020. So I'm repeating 5 or 6 organizations again. G20 chairmanship lies with the Saudi Arabia. Why I'm repeating again and again these things? Because it will come in exam definitely. Vietnam, ASEAN chairmanship, and Russia BRICS chairmanship. Nepal, that is the SARC chairmanship. Today I told you, and there is a CICA chairmanship lies with the Tajikistan. So remember this. Now moving to next question. Which state won the UN, that is the United Nations Integracy Task Force Award 2020 for its contribution toward the sustainable development goals related to the non-communicable diseases? Which state, I am talking about which state, not the country, won the United Nations Integracy Task Force Award 2020 for its contribution toward the sustainable development goals? And which type of sustainable development goal? That is the to weaken the non-communicable diseases or to control the non-communicable diseases. So mark under very important question. So who won this non-communicable diseases award under the sustainable development goals by the United Nations? It is given to the Kerala. Kerala is very much literate state and they know how to conserve uh, the methods of controlling non-communicable diseases. So how they control these non-communicable diseases, or how they reduce this type of the diseases? So there is a one basic unit of the state government, that is the health center. So Kerala government also did this. Kerala government established basic health centers to hospitals at all levels to treat the lifestyle diseases. Like odd levels means that is at the village level, at the local level it means the municipal level. So they just established the basic health center to the hospitals at all levels to treat the lifestyle diseases and to treat and free service provided to a larger section of the population. And they also very much controlled under the COVID-19 diseases. So other countries health ministries also won this award, like Ministry of Health Russia also won this award, Ministry of Health Armenia also, Secretariat of Health Mexico also won this award. But Kerala also won this award. So remember, in India, for the non-communicable diseases, to control the non-communicable diseases under the Sustainable Development Goal given by the United Nations Interagency Task Force Award 2021 by the Kerala. Moving to next question, you can see here Kerala wins United Nations Award on prevention control of the non-communicable diseases. And here is a lady, KK Shalja, who is health minister of Kerala. So KK Shalja, who is belonging to Kerala, can remember this. Move to next question. Who became the first woman fighter pilot of India to fly the Rafale combat aircraft? Read the news as I am speaking and remember this as I speaking. So nothing to remember extra. Just remember this thing, that first woman fighter pilot of India to fly the Rafale combat aircraft. And it is most important question. So very important question. And the lady is Shivangi Singh. So remember her name, Shivangi Singh. So how you can remember this Shivangi Singh? That Lord Shiva also a pilot to fly Rafale. So remember this, Lord Shiva and Rafale. Remember this and you will remember by the Lord Shiva. So it is a Shivangi Singh. So you can see here that is the Shivangi Singh, Flight Lieutenant Shivangi Singh, first woman fighter pilot for the Rafale India. So Rafale was bought from France, remember this also, and it landed in the Ambala Air Base, and its unit is known as, that is the Golden Arrows. Move to next question. Who became the brand ambassador of Akash Educational Services Limited? Nothing more. This is just perfect news and mark under important question. There are 3 sections: important question, very important question, and most important question. So this comes under the important question because brand ambassadors are asked in the banking exam. So remember this, who are preparing for the banking exam, who become the brand ambassador of Akash Educational Services Limited. Akash is a very well-renowned institution under the educational services. They are providing coaching for the NEET exams and the like engineering exam. So we are talking about the Akash Institute. And who become the brand ambassador? Brand ambassador is Yuvraj Singh. I already told you about Sachin Tendulkar. That is the Paytm first games. Suresh Raina, 9stacks. Before 2 or 3 days I covered this news that 9stack is a poker company and Suresh Raina become brand ambassador. And Virat Kohli, that is the great learning. great learning platform of the education. And Suresh Rana 9 stacks, Sachin Tendulkar Paytm first, Yuvraj Singh become the brand ambassador of Akash, Sonu Sood become the Acer India brand ambassador. So remember, Ayushman Khurrana, Bajaj Alliance. So these are the brand ambassadors, very important. So you can see here Akash Digital, that is the Yuvraj Singh brand ambassador. Success is Waiting is a platform of the Akash, that is the digital platform of the Akash Institute. You can see here Yuvraj Singh. Move to next question. Who become the brand ambassador of Seat Limited? Seat is a tire making company, and who become the brand ambassador? That also mark under the important section. And who become the brand ambassador? That is the Amir Khan. You can see here Amir Khan become the brand ambassador of Seat Tires. Seat Tires, guys. Who is the brand ambassador of MRF Tires? That is the Virat Kohli. Move to next question. Which institute developed an indigenous microprocessor known as the MOSHIC for IoT devices? IoT stands for Internet of Things devices. So first of all, it is indigenous. It means it also promotes the Make in India concept. This processor can be used in smart cards, any type of smart cards, electronic voting machines. It can be used in EVMs also, and office management system. So that to enroll the attendance in the office system or any type of the management system in the office, you can use this type of the microprocessor known as the MOSHIC. So this microprocessor can be used anywhere. It means that's why I use the word Internet of Things. It means it can be used anywhere where internet can be used. It means like health management system, consumer electronics, water pump monitoring, electronic voting machine, smart cards, anywhere it can be used. So first of all, it is very important that is it indigenous. It means it is prepared by under the Make in India concept. And it is developed by the IIT Madras. So remember this, IIT Madras developed this MOSHIC microprocessor. So you can see here IIT Madras develops MOSHIC microprocessor for Internet of Things devices. Next question. Which bank in association with fintech partners has introduced near field communication based contactless payment solution? So from the mobile, when you wave the mobile from the POS machine, then they can transact any type of transaction. So it is started by which bank? No one. I forgot to put the option, but no bank is here who started this type of facility with the fintech partners. Who started with the fintech partner? That is a small finance bank, that is Fino Payment Bank. So you can remember by the fintech, that is the Fino Payment Bank Limited in association with fintech partner has introduced this NFS, that is the near field communication based contactless payment solution for mass transit system. It means you can use this type of facility by waving your mobile phone or by waving your cards from the point of scale machines. And what about the Fino Payment Bank? Fino Payment Bank head office is in the Mumbai, that is Maharashtra, and managing director is the Rishi Gupta. So you can remember this also. So you can see here Fino Payment Bank contactless payment for mass transport. It can be used in the bus services also. So it is very important. It is specially designed for the transport. Moving to next question. The World Pharmacist Day is celebrated on which day? This is important due to the COVID-19 because pharmacists are very valuable during the COVID-19 and they are known as the that is the COVID warriors also. So World Pharmacist Day is celebrated on which day? So first of all, why this day is celebrated? This day is celebrated just to raise awareness of role of pharmacist in healthcare and to encourage activities that promote and advocate the role of pharmacists in improving health in every corner of the world. So, and the theme of the 2020 of Pharmacist Day is the transforming global health, because due to COVID-19, they are very valuable persons, and also you can say very valuable chain of the pharmacists who are working day and night for the to fight the COVID-19. That's why there is a theme, transforming global health. They are changing the global health system by forming a chain all over world, and that's why the theme is the transforming global health, and it is celebrated on the 25th September 2020. So remember, every year 25th September is celebrated as the World Pharmacist Day, and it is the 10th time it was celebrated. So you can see here World Pharmacist Day, that is the 25th September 2020, transforming global health. Moving to next question. Annatodya Divas. Annatodya, you know, that 35 kg ration is given to the poor people in which subsidized food is available for the poor people at the near ration shops, is annually observed across India on the 25th September to mark the birth anniversary of which eminent person? So what is the meaning of the Antyodaya? Antyodaya means that is uplifting the poorest of the poor, and the objective of Antyodaya Divas is to reach out to the last person. And also, what is the meaning of the pharmacist? It is also means that to reach out to the last person who is suffering from any disease. So relate these 2 days because they are celebrated on same day, that is on the 25th of September. So Antyodaya means you are giving food. Antyodaya means you are giving food. If you are not providing food, then they will go to hospital and they will go to pharmacist. So it means you can relate these 2 days by Antyodaya and the pharmacist. So remember these. That is celebrated on 25th September and on the birth anniversary of very famous person of BJP. That is the Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay. That is the philosopher, you can say, and the star icon of the Bharatiya Janata Party. So he was also an icon of the Bharatiya Jansangh and the Bharatiya Janata Party. He was philosopher of the national movements of India and the political activist. So Ministry of Rural Development organized a program on the 25th September, that is the Antyodaya Divas, named as the कौशल से कल बदलेंगे. कौशल से कल बदलेंगे मतलब हिम्मत से कल बदलेंगे. That is the name of the program. And what about the Ministry of Rural Development? That is same as the Minister of Agriculture, Narendra Singh Tomar ji, and Minister of State is Sadhvini Ranjan Jyoti ji. And you have to remember this Antyodaya Day celebrated with the name of Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay ji. So you can see here Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay ji, 1916 to 1968, and 25th September is the birthday of the Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay ji. In 2020 it is the 100, it means 104th birthday of Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay ji. So remember this. Moving to next question. Who released technology vision for cyber security for urban cooperative banks? So this is very simple question. Just remember technology vision for cyber security. It means in the banking sector, in the urban cooperative banks, they want to just secure the their technology from the cyber attacks. It means they are focusing on the cyber security. So in very simple word, you can say that it aims to enhance the cyber security in the urban cooperative banking sector against the growing information technology and the cyber threat environment. And who released these type of guidelines? This is released by RBI, not NABARD. Maximum students are marking NABARD. NABARD is not the answer. Answer is the RBI Reserve Bank of India stated these type of vision or the guidelines, that is the technology vision for the cyber security only for the urban cooperative banks, not for the other banks. It is only for the urban cooperative banks, even not for the rural cooperative banks. It is only for the urban cooperative banks because cyber threats in the urban cooperative banks is more. You can see here RBI releases technology vision for the cyber security for urban cooperative banks. Move to next question, and it is from picture that former Australian cricketer Dean Jones passed away. Just remember the name, that is the Dean Jones, and he belongs to the which cricket team? That is the Australia. He died at the age of 59 and he was recently in India. He died in Mumbai, Maharashtra due to cardiac arrest. So he was born in Melbourne, Australia, but he was died in India. And he was the player of the Australian team when Australia won the first World Cup. That was in 1987. That is the first World Cup who won by the Australia, which was won by the Australia, and he was the player of the Australian cricket team at that time in 1987. So remember this also. Move to next question, and it is again from picture that Padam Shri awardee, nuclear scientist Shekhar Basuji passed away. Mark under very important section. I forgot to mark here. That is very important question. You can also say he was the former chairman of Atomic Energy Commission, and he died due to the COVID-19. That is very sad, and that is the COVID-19. Very sad. He was very famous because he developed the INS Arihant. That is the India's first nuclear powered submarine. So he designed, or you can say he developed this type of the INS Arihant high complex reactor. That is the first nuclear powered submarine reactor. So remember this also. That's why I am saying that I forgot to mark under the very important section. This is very important. And you know about the Tarapur nuclear power cycle and the Kalpakkam nuclear power reactor. both are designed, constructed, and operationalized by this person, that is the Shekhar Basu. So he's very important person. So remember his name. He was also a Padam Shri awardee. This is also remember. So mark this question under very important section. Now moving to next question. I already marked under very important section, that is the veteran singer SP Balasubramaniam, and very much known as the SPB, passed away in 2021. You can say here he passed on 25th September 2020. He was six-time national award winner. Six time, guys, six times national award winner for best male playback singer. He was also Padam Shri awardee in 2001. He was also Padam Bhushan in 2011, and he died at the age of 74. So remember, very veteran singer SP Balasubramaniam, and he belongs to the Andhra Pradesh area. I think Nellore district of the Andhra Pradesh. He belongs to Nellore district of Andhra Pradesh. So remember this also. So this is all for the today. If you like this video, then subscribe this channel, and guys, please provide 300 likes, and if you provide 300 likes, we will start more videos, and we will start to make videos on the different topics and on the different section like general awareness sections. And it is Affairs Cloud promise that it will boost your confidence in the general awareness section. And it is my personal promise, if you watch video for 1 month regularly, and if you are reading our PDFs regularly for 1 month, you will not be you. It means you will be enhanced by the current affairs, and you can attempt all the questions in your question paper related to the current affairs if you are watching videos regularly, and if you are preparing from the current affairs cloud PDFs. And thank you for watching this video again. Take care.